Hello again, everybody. This is Guy Newcomb here on the Missouri Sports Network. It's time for Friday Night Live. You have to bear with us just a little bit tonight. We've changed some of the format and the way we are doing things, so it might be a challenge. But Guy Newcomb alongside Kent Miller. And Kent, how was your evening?
It was a good evening. I called a soccer game, and Barstow School won 1-0 on a cross state line school. The Eudora Cardinals came over to play, but Barstow won 1-0. It's a good game.
Very good. Well, I know folks tuning in, and as always, brought to you by Liuna Labor's Local 663, Building Missouri, and reminding us to drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Also presented by Doak Propane for all your propane needs in Polk County and surrounding counties. See the folks at Doak. Also presented by the Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. And once again, everybody probably getting ready. A lot of games still going on right now, but if you're in your car and you're headed home, or maybe you're at home or sitting in your driveway, hey, we thank you for tuning in. Hey, do us a favor, text a friend, text a buddy, text a family member to follow in as well, or follow along as well. Again, this is Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Well, Ken, I know there's not a lot of scores on there, but why don't you go through what we have at this time?
All right, here, let me get back up to the top. We will run through. We have a couple of scores from last night. Fort Zumwalt North defeated Fort Zumwalt East 49-6. Ava over Houston 43-20. And the Thayer beat Kabul this evening 78-0. It was Parkview over Hayti 13-0. Russellville defeated Lynn 49-12. It was Blair Oaks 52 winning at home against Blue Valley Southwest out of Johnson County, Kansas. Blair Oaks prevailing 52-10. Montgomery County 38, Mark Twain 0. Nevada 27, Lamar 7. Perryville defeated Jefferson Festus 35-0. Sullivan defeated Herman 35-7. It was Orchard Farm 53, Winfield 7, and Farmington defeated Union 49-14, while it was Hillsboro with 41 over Windsor with 12. That's Hillsboro 41-12 over Windsor. And it was Ladue defeating Parkway Central 51-0. Carthage topped Joplin 28-21. Lebanon defeated Ozark 56-28. Northwest Cedar Hill 48, Fox 20. St. James out of Kansas defeated St. Pius of Kansas City 27-21. It was also the same score. Republic defeating Webb City 27-21. CBC 59 traveled to Georgia and came out victorious against Rabun Gap Nacoochee. It was Christian Brothers 59, Rabun Gap Nacoochee 49. And those are the scores we have at 9:35 p.m.
I just got an update here. Windsor defeats Midway 16-12. And that game just now going final. And a final also from Forsyth. As Forsyth defeats Reed Spring 41-14. If you'd like to be part of the show, also here's a final. Savannah over Cameron 47-6. That game has gone final as well. In the third quarter, Fulton trailing Mexico 49-35. Probably right at the end of the third quarter. That'd be awful late. 49 seconds left. Let's see here. No, I can't see who the teams are. I can't see them. That makes it hard. Or I don't recognize the helmets that they put up there, but my goodness. I think it's Potosi and Central. It's Central on top, 31-28. They're that game with 49 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Also, final McMonroe City over Palmyra, 26-20. In the fourth quarter, Valley Catholic leads St. Genevieve Valley 31-13. And that game has gone final. The Central Rebels, they hang on and win or get a field goal at the end to defeat Potosi 31-28. Again, if you'd like to join us, you can go to Facebook Live or your YouTube channel, even Twitter, and drop us a note. I'll open up the chat bar here. We are coming to you live, although just a little bit different setup here today. Plus the fact that I don't feel well, but well, we're hanging in there. For everybody that is watching on our Restream channel, our YouTube channel, our Instagram channel, or any one of our Twitter handles, hey, we thank you for tuning in. And again, if you got someone in the car that you care about, hey, make sure they're buckled up as well. Again, this is Friday night live here on the Missouri Sports Network, your high school football scoreboard show. I've reached out to several coaches. I think I'm having a little bit of trouble with my phone, but we will see how it goes here on tonight. We just did get a text back from Coach LePage at Blair Oaks, and he'll be joining us at 9:50 here on the show. And we'll run through those scores again for some of you maybe just getting in your car, the scores that we have at this time, and we are frantically putting in, as some games have gone final. Excuse me. DeSoto, and this is a final. DeSoto defeats Fredericktown 36-7. Final from Bowling Green is Bowling Green. They defeat Van Far 52-28. A lot of games just now going final with 7:22 to go in the fourth quarter. Mexico leads Fulton 49-42, and that's just a couple minutes old, so that game has not gone final yet. Got to watch a high-scoring game tonight, Kent. We tuned in and watched CBC as they're playing Rabun Gap, which is out of Georgia. Final score 59-49, but it was in doubt till the very last play, and it was a touchdown there at the end for CBC. But it was back and forth. 15 touchdowns scored in that game, and two of the best teams, maybe nationally. I would assume. CBC, defending Class 6 state champions here in Missouri. And they've got to go. They go out of state, a lot to play games. But apparently, this Rabun Gap team plays. They're 2-4. That was their fourth loss, but they were, considered to be one of the national powers as well. They're out of Georgia. Don't know much about the school. Didn't get a chance to look it up. But just a high scoring game. Just had another final come in as Smith Cotton defeats Columbia Battle 15-0 on homecoming night for Smith Cotton. So they get a victory there for them. What we're going to do right now, we'll run back through the scores for those of you just tuning in. We'll go back to the score desk and Kent Mueller, and I know there's been some updates, but give us what we've got at this point.
All right, we have from last night. It was Fort Zumwalt North defeating Fort Zumwalt East 49-6, and Ava defeated Houston 43-20. In games this evening, the finals include Thayer over Kabul 78-0, and Parkview defeating Hayti 13-0. Russellville defeated Lynn 49-12, and it was Windsor over Midway 16-12. Blair Oaks defeated Blue Valley Southwest out of Kansas 52-10, and it was Warsaw defeating El Dorado Springs 48-0. Springfield Catholic defeated Fairgrove 36-15. Montgomery County shut out Mark Twain 38-0. Mid Buchanan 28, Lathrop 7. Nevada 27, Lamar 7, and it was Perryville over Jefferson Festus 35-0. Sullivan defeated Herman 35-7, and it was Orchard Farm over Winfield 53-7. Farmington over Union 49-14. Hillsborough defeating Windsor 41-12. Kearney defeated Grain Valley 28-14. And Carthage over Joplin 28-21. Ladue shuts out Parkway Central 51-0. Lebanon 56, Ozark 28. North Kansas City defeated Grandview 61-7. Northwest Cedar Hill over Fox 48-20. It was St. James of Kansas over St. Pius of Kansas City 27-21. Smith Cotton over Battle 15-0. Republic defeated Webb City 27-21, and it was, as Guy mentioned, Christian Brothers going way out of state to Rabun Gap, Nacoochee, which is in Georgia. Christian Brothers came away with a 59-49 win. Those are the scores that we have at as of 9:43.
Very good, very good. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to step away and take a break. You are listening to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. We're back after these messages from some of our sponsors.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving, doing what they do best. Helping neighbors, pitching in, getting it done. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. And every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Seems Bill's up the creek without a paddle. That's not funny. And while he really wants a new boat, at Central Bank, we're helping Bill plan for what's most important. Like retiring early and fishing whenever he wants. Hey, Bill, try it again.
Fine.
Hope a new boat's part of this plan.
Dream bigger, Bill. We're thinking about a cabin, too.
Now that's a plan.
The Walnut Street Inn is located in the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State Campus, Hammons Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports or activities.
Welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad you tuned in this evening. As always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. I know we've had some scores updated here. We've got about 5 minutes till Coach Ted LePage will join us from Blair Oaks, as they got a big win over Blue Valley Southwest. The last time probably they're going to play them for a while. It's been a yearly thing, but with them adding a team to their conference, I'm speaking of Blair Oaks, for next year, that's going to cut out that non-conference game. So we'll go back to the score desk, Kent Mueller, and see what we have. Any updates?
Okay, we have, starting with the big schools, as we mentioned, Christian Brothers 59, Raven Gap Nukuchi out of Georgia 49, Lee Summit over Park Hill South 35-7, Republic over Webb City 27-21. That's the same score as St. James out of Kansas over St. Pius of Kansas City 27-21. Smith Cotton defeated Battle 15-0. Northwest Cedar Hill 48, Fox 40. North Kansas City defeated Grandview 61-7. Lebanon defeated Ozark 56-28, while it was Ladue 51, Parkway Central 0. Carthage went on the road to Joplin and came out a winner 28-21. That's Carthage 28, Joplin 21. Rockbridge 63, Camdenton 7. Festus 46, North County 21, Kearney 28, Green Valley 14, Hillsboro 41, Windsor 12, Harrisonville 31 over Pleasant Hill with 6. Farmington over Union 49-14, Orchard Farm 53, Winfield 7. Clever defeated Buffalo 27-12. It was Sullivan with 35 and Herman with 7. Perryville defeats Jefferson Festus tonight 35-0. Nevada 27, Lamar 7. Mid Buchanan 28, Lathrop 7. Montgomery County over Mark Twain 38-0. Springfield Catholic goes on the road to Fair Grove and comes out a winner 36-15. Warsaw at El Dorado Springs, Warsaw winning 48-0. Blair Oaks defeated Blue Valley Southwest out of Johnson County, Kansas, as Blair Oaks 52, Blue Valley Southwest 10. Windsor over Midway in a close one, 16-12. East Buchanan defeats Penny 35-7. Russellville over Lynn 49-12. Parkview defeated Hayti 13-0. Thayer over Kabul 78-0. Bowling Green defeated Van Far at home 52-28.
All right, we're going to go to the phone lines. We welcome in Blair Oaks head coach Ted LePage. Coach LePage, thanks for joining us.
Well, I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.
Coach, big win tonight. Tell us a bit about the ball game with Blue Valley.
Well, it was a step out of the comfort zone for the Falcons. We played a bigger school from Kansas, one of the Blue Valley Southwest, and we knew they were a good football team coming in. They were well coached, really good representation of players on the field. We started fast. We got a 3 and out, then they punted to us, and we took it down and scored, made it 7-0, then just kind of controlled the game from there. We really had a big night by our defense. It's a really, really good opponent. And they came up with 4 turnovers in the first half. We had 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles, and recovered them. Offense in the first, I think Tyler Backs ended up with 5 touchdown passes on the night to 5 different receivers. So spread the ball around, and it ended up being a good night for us.
Coach, who really played well for you tonight? Maybe a group, offensive line, defensive backfield, offensive backfield.
Well, I will say our offensive line was really tremendous tonight. We lost our center early to a dislocated kneecap. Our backup center came in and just gelled really well with our one offensive line. They really played well. We had a bunch of young men in there that are just battling like crazy against a really big defensive line. And our defensive line, control line of scrimmage, I think they had 48 yards rushing. They just they abandoned the run and just started throwing it every down because they could not run on our defensive front.
Again, visiting with Blair Oaks head football coach Ted LePage. And Coach LePage, roughly 2/3 of the way through the regular season, what do you feel like you're really doing well right now? And maybe an area that you feel like you got to shore up if you're going to make that deep run again?
I think one thing we're doing well, and this is going to totally uncoached-like, our chemistry is outstanding. Our players, offensively, defensively, special teams, they have so much fun playing together, and they gel together, and they feed off each other. We got a turnover tonight, and we weren't able to convert with a touchdown. We went for it on fourth down and didn't get it. And our defense just went running out, and they're like, we got you. So I think our team chemistry is off the charts. We have a ton of players back from last year, and the one thing I've noticed since day one after we started in the offseason was it was about this year. And this senior class has really done a great job of leading and making everybody feel wanted on this team.
Coach, at what point during a season maybe you start looking at least with one eye at the district standings and kind of thinking about what you need to do to close out and get as many home games down the stretch as you can?
Day one. You have to because like I told our players, every Saturday morning we meet at 8 a.m. as a team, and we're going to watch film that day. But the first thing we do is I bring up the district seedings, because if you don't know the roadmap, you don't know how to drive. So we have to have a roadmap. We have to be able to see where we're going, and we have to see what's at stake. It makes it very important to them. They have goals, and they're the ones that create those goals. I remind them all the time. We started last year, 2 weeks after state championship game. We sat down, and they're the ones that set the goals. So these are your goals. Now, how do we get there? How the best way to get there? And that's one thing I appreciate about them after the game tonight. Number one goal is be a champ every day. Number two goal is be 1-0, and that's what they were saying after the game. We may have won tonight. We'll enjoy tonight. But tomorrow we'll come back and we're going to get better.
What challenges in front of you for next week?
I think homecoming.
Oh.
I think if you're a head football coach, that's probably one of the 3 worst days of the season, because you know that there's going to be a ton of distractions. You want your athletes to enjoy it. I really do. As I've gotten older, you want them to enjoy it, but you also remind them that the main focal point of homecoming is a football game. That's why people actually call it homecoming, is to go to the football game. So, yeah, enjoy the festivities, but at the same standpoint, we have to get better, and we have to be very, very good at the football game, because that's what the people want to see. Other thing I think we need to be challenged by is the little things. We had too many penalties tonight. We had 10 penalties against a really good football team. I think good teams force you into penalties. We got to find ways to finish. So one thing we're going to do as a staff tomorrow morning, first thing, we'll get there at 7, is before the players get in, is one thing that your position group needs to work on next week. And I got to see it on the practice plan and drill work, so we can get better and help our players. Because if it's penalties, sometimes that's a coaching issue, and I need to really do a better job of that and helping our players get clean.
Well, Coach, I'm curious. You said one of the 3 worst days for a head football coach. Well, I can think of maybe one other one, which would be maybe equipment check-in. But what are the other ones?
Equipment check out.
Okay.
Check out equipment. That's a day that just it drives you insane, because you got kids in there, and you'll always have that kid that comes up and thinks he's getting the wrong treatment on equipment or something. And just like, it's all the same.
Very good. Well, Coach, hey, congratulations on the win tonight, and you've made your 3rd appearance now, so you're officially a friend of the show, and we greatly appreciate you being part of it.
I keep losing friends, so anyone I can gain, I appreciate. Thank you, sir.
You bet. Coach LePage, thank you so much for joining us. God bless.
You bet. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye. Coach Ted LePage there as they get a big win, and I meant to ask him about that being maybe the last time they'll see Blue Valley West for a while, because of the adding the teams to their conference. Well, with 2 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the 4th quarter, Fulton is trailing Mexico 63-42. So another high-scoring game here in Missouri. Also, an 8-man football has gone final. Lockwood defeats Liberal 72-20. That game just coming across here as well. In Centralia, they defeat Highland 54-12. Those just coming across my feed. So I thought I'd read them. Valley Catholic over as St. Genevieve 31-13. And we'll go back to the score desk. And Kent Mueller here, and we'll run through the scores one more time for those of you that have just tuned in.
All right, last night there were two games. It was Fort Zumwalt East falling to Fort Zumwalt North 49-6. Ava defeated Houston last evening 43-20. In games this evening, Adrian defeated Versailles 61-0. Bowling Green 52, Van Far 28. Thayer all over Kabul 78-0. It was Parkview shutting out Hayti 13-0. Russellville over Lynn 49-12. East Buchanan over Penny 35-7. It was Midway going on the road and falling to Windsor. It was Windsor 16, Midway 12. Blair Oaks, we just heard about 52-10 over Blue Valley Southwest in Johnson County, Kansas. It was Warsaw over El Dorado Springs 48-0. Springfield Catholic 36, Fairgrove 15. Montgomery County defeats Mark Twain 38-0. Mid Buchanan 28, Lathrop 7. Nevada defeated Lamar 27-7. Perryville held court at home 35-0 over Jefferson Festus. Sullivan defeated Herman 35-7. It was Clever 27, Buffalo 12, while it was DeSoto defeating Fredericktown 36-7. Park Hills Central in a close one over Potosi. Park Hills Central victorious 31-28 over Potosi. Valley Catholic 31, St. Genevieve 13, Orchard Farm 53, Winfield 7. Farmington defeats Union at home 49-14. Harrisonville over Pleasant Hill 31-6. Hillsboro 41, Windsor 12, while it was Kearney defeating Grain Valley 28-14. It was Festus over North County 46-21. Platte County defeats Smithville 49-7. Rock Bridge was all over Camdenton 63-7, and Fort Osage shuts out Ruskin 49-0. Carthage in a close one over Joplin 28-21. Ladue 51-0 over Parkway Central. Lebanon defeats Ozark 56-28. North Kansas City 61, Grandview 7. Northwest Cedar Hill defeats Fox 48-20. It was Smith Cotton over Battle this evening 15-0. St. James Academy out of Kansas defeats St. Pius of Kansas City 27-21. Republic defeats Webb City 27-21. Lee Summit over Park Hill South 35-7. It was Christian Brothers 59 on the road at Raven Gap, Nakuchi in Georgia with 49. That was CBC 59-49. Those are the scores as of now, Guy.
Well, I tell you what, that still at 59-49 game, guys. And then the announcers, they were in or at Raven Gap down in Georgia, but the announcers were just talking about how good both defenses were playing. Well, they gave up 108 points. And it was something else. It was, there's probably 4 turnovers, but 15 touchdowns. And that just kept 15 touchdowns on a field goal. So, but it was something else. And like I said, if you like to be part of the chat, you can go to our Facebook page and you can chat with us there, or go to YouTube channel or Twitter or whatever. Send us a note, drop us an email. If you were at a game, or you just send us a tweet at Scoreboard Guy, and it'll pop up right here on my feed, and I will send it back to the score desk, and they will get it up as fast as we can. Both of us or all three of us now, I guess, are putting up scores, but it is somewhat of a challenge here. Let me see if I can find any more of finals. At the end of the third quarter, I had Lawson over West Platte 30-19. Just running through some things here on my feed. Here's we wait. Ryan Cornelson from Republic will be joining us here in just a few moments. At last score at the half, let me see if I can get a final. Yes, it has gone final. Logan Rogersville defeats Hillcrest 55-13. So that game has gone final. Now my screen went black, but when it rains, it pours. Final Farmington over Union, 49-14. And some of these Kent may have read. I'm just going through here. And Liberty over Washington. That was with 1:20 left, but that was over an hour ago. That game's gone final, so I won't read that score. But anyway, you're listening to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad you tuned in, and we'll be back after these messages from our sponsors.
Any given Saturday, and a little work. And a little play.
Hey, little help?
And a truck that says no to nothing.
Hi, Dad. Can we get them a ride?
Yeah.
The Silverado Trail Boss and Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Hey, welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Well, that's not going to work. I was trying to pull up something, but can't get her done. But we'll run back to Kent here as we wait. Ron Cornelson here. He got a couple minutes just to run through some of the scores here, maybe just on from last night and in. Get through page one before Coach Cornelson joins us, Kent. Back to the desk.
Yes, last night, Fort Zumwalt North defeated Fort Zumwalt East 49-6, and Ava defeated Houston last evening 43-20. I can go through here some 8-man. Lockwood defeated Liberal 72-20. And it was Adrian over Versailles 61-0. Bowling Green over Van Far 52-28. Thayer over Kabul 78-0. Parkview defeated Hayti 13-0. Lawson 51, West Platte 27. Russellville 49-12 over Lynn. East Buchanan defeated Penny 35-7. Windsor over Midway 16-12. A game that we heard about earlier from the coach, Blair Oaks 52, Blue Valley Southwest out of Johnson County, Kansas 10. That was Blair Oaks 52-10 over a very good Blue Valley Southwest team. Warsaw over El Dorado Springs 48-0. Springfield Catholic defeated Fairgrove 36-15. Montgomery County 38. Mark Twain 0.
All right. We've got we are joined now by Coach Ryan Cornelson from Republic. Big win tonight, Coach. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It was a good win.
Coach, tell us a little bit how it played out tonight.
Yeah, so we got down early. We had a couple of turnovers in the first half. They drove the ball. They took almost the entire first quarter, drove the ball down, and we roughed the punter. They got it back and scored. So really, I think we went down 14-7 at half. I think that's what it was. But we got the ball coming back out of half. and found a way to punch it in, and then they scored, and really just came down to kind of we had the ball the last drive and punched it in, and then made one stop there at the end to win the game. But two similar teams, both of us played the time of possession, so there wasn't many possessions. It was both teams would have the ball 5, 6, 7 minutes of drive. So the game went really quick, and we were just fortunate to come out with a win.
Did you have to make some adjustments there at halftime, or did you make any adjustments at halftime that kind of turned the stage in your favor?
No, we really didn't. It was pretty much. I mean, we made. Of course, you always got a few adjustments, but nothing major. Really, it was. I mean, we turned it over twice, and penalties. It was just really we were just making mistakes, and so there was a few plays they had on us. We jumped in at a different front, and they gashed us on outside veer once, and so we had to make a few of those corrections. But really, just staying with the plan, but making a couple of little changes. And defense was on the field a lot. They did a good job just outside of that. They gave up just maybe 3 or 4 big plays that really hurt. We got to make sure we try to improve on that.
Just a gauntlet of a schedule here in that COC West, and a lot of those teams are in your district as well. What do you what are your thoughts about having to play them twice, and do you, or maybe having to play some of these teams twice? And do you think about maybe holding things back?
We don't. I don't know what others do. We just try to play one game at a time and put the best plan we can, and that's how we've always done it. And it's nobody wants to play anybody twice. That's the nature of the beast, I guess. So it's a pretty tough conference, and it's a tough district, and it's all the same team. So we're going to end up playing each other again. Whether it's there's just a lot of good teams. So you're going to play somebody good pretty quick in our district. So you just got to take it one game at a time. Try to put the best plan you can, and you never know by the time districts get here who's got kids banged up, who's playing, who's not. So really, every game's kind of its own game, and that's how we look at it.
Coach, at what point of the season do you kind of maybe, at least with one eye, look over at the those district standings and kind of think about what you have to do to get as many home games as you can?
We don't, honestly. We just we just try to control what we can, and that's the next week. And whatever that says in the end, we'll play, whoever they tell us we're going to play, and wherever they're going to tell us we're going to play. So that's just kind of the way we approach things. And our kids, they believe in it. Our coaches believe in it. We just, we're not worried about districts until districts gets here, and we'll just try to win one game at a time.
Speaking of that, who you have on the docket for next week?
Yeah, we play Carthage next week, so obviously another tough team. So we'll have to, heal up. We were our defense was on the field a lot. We got banged up, and we'll have to nurse those through the loop.
Yeah. Well, very good. Well, Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time here tonight, and congratulations on the win. And we look forward to catching up at the quarterback club as well as maybe throughout the season.
All right, man. I appreciate you guys calling or having me on.
You bet, Coach. Thank you. Have a good evening. God bless. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Ryan Cornelson, kind enough to join us. Boy, just goes from the frying pan into the fire. Webb City and then Carthage. And but I get through that stuff, and get into the postseason, make a little run. You've been very well prepared, provided you can stay healthy. He talked a little bit about being a little bit banged up. Didn't mention any serious injuries, and this is 6 weeks in. It's football. I mean, you're going to have bumps, and bruises at this point of the season. If you don't, you're not doing it right, or you're the kicker. But anyway, we'll get back to the score desk and kind of finish up with where the scores are.
All right, we have again last night, Fort Zumwalt North 49, Fort Zumwalt East 6, Ava 43, Houston 20, Lockwood over Liberal 72-20, Adrian over Versailles 61-0, and Bowling Green over Van Far 52-28, Parkview over Hayti 13-0, Lawson 51, West Platte 27, Russellville 49, Lynn 12, East Buchanan defeated Penny 35-7, and it was Windsor in a close one over Midway 16-12. Blair Oaks defeats Blue Valley Southwest out of Kansas 52-10. Warsaw over El Dorado Springs 48-0. Springfield Catholic 36. Fairgrove 15. Montgomery County 38. Mark Twain 0. Mid Buchanan over Lathrop 28-7. Mountain Grove over Liberty Mountain View 35-6. Nevada 27. Lamar 7. Perryville 35. Jefferson Festus 0. Sullivan over Herman 35-7. Cassville defeated Mount Vernon 39-28. Clever over Buffalo 27-12. DeSoto defeated Fredericktown 36-7. Osage over Hallsville 46-15. Park Hills Central 31. Potosi 28. Valley Catholic defeated St. Genevieve 31-13. Orchard Farm over Winfield 53-7. Farmington 49, Union 14. Harrisonville defeats Pleasant Hill this evening 31-6. Hillsborough over Windsor 41-12. It was Kearney falling to Grain Valley falling to Kearney 28-14. That's Kearney 28, Grain Valley 14. Rogersville 55, Hillcrest 13. Festus over North County 46-21. Platte County over Smithville 49-7. Odessa over Warrensburg 42-28. Lincoln College Prep defeats Winnetonka this evening 13-7. It was Rockbridge 63, Camdenton 7. Fort Osage 49, Ruskin 0. Carthage defeats Joplin 28-21. Ladue beats Parkway Central 51-0, and it was Lebanon over Ozark 56-28. North Kansas City defeats Grandview this evening 61-7. Northwest Cedar Hill 48, Fox 20. It was Parkway West 31, Lindbergh 21. Blue Springs defeated Rockhurst on the road 38-29 this evening. Smith Cotton shuts out Battle 15-0. St. James Academy out of Kansas 27. St. Pius of Kansas City 21. Liberty over Washington 42-20. Republic defeats Webb City 27-21. Lee Summit defeats Park Hill South this evening 35-7, while it was Liberty North winning over Staley 31-20. And it was Christian Brothers traveling way out of town to Rabun Gap, Nukuchi in Georgia, coming away with a 59-49 win. 3 games tomorrow. It's Lafayette Wildwood at McClure. St. Dominic travels to Riverview Gardens, and Summit Christian Academy is at University Academy.
Well, that's quite a few games we've got through, and we're looking forward to getting those all up here, and we're reaching out to coaches here and trying to get them on as soon as possible. And we'll run down, if we got time at the end, if we don't get enough coaches in, if we don't get coaches towards the end of the evening, we'll run through some of the district standings that have been updated with tonight's scores anyway. So we've reached out, we're trying to get a hold, and we've got we just had a final here as Eureka defeats Rockwood Summit 28-7. That game has gone final. We just got a message back from Clever head football coach Mac Whitehead. He'll be joining us at 10:20. So for those of you just tuning in, maybe you're riding in your car, maybe you're at home, maybe you're sitting in your car in your driveway like Teresa from the Neosho's athletics office listens in her car. Are you turning 65 soon? And I'm not talking Teresa. This is an ad. I got that out of my mouth, and I thought, wait a second. All right, turning 65 soon? Maybe you're already retired. Medicare can be confusing, but it really doesn't have to be. At Calhoun and Associates Insurance, they make the Medicare enrollment smooth, simple, and of course, stress-free. And that's just the beginning. Now, from choosing the right plan, or maybe it's creating a retirement strategy that lasts, Calhoun and Associates Insurance is your one-stop shop for a secure future. Hey, they're going to help you. They'll help you understand all of your options. Avoid some of those costly mistakes that some people make and build a retirement you deserve. Because you worked hard all your whole life. Now it's time to enjoy it. Hey, take time tomorrow to call Calhoun and Associates Insurance at 417-379-2157 or visit CalhounInsurances.com. Your golden years start with a golden plan. Again, you are listening to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. As I mentioned, Mexico defeated Fulton 63-42, and a little known fact that is the 54 Bowl. I don't know where that comes from. It's probably 54 Highway. But Mexico has won the 54 Bowl now 13 years in a row with that 63-42 win. As I mentioned, Eureka final score over Rockwood Summit 28-7. And we certainly appreciate everybody that's sending in these scores via Twitter. Some of them are text, but most of them are via Twitter. But hey, if you want to text your scores in, that's fine. You can text me at 417-327-6914. Kind of hate to cough right in the middle of giving out your phone number. But 417-327-6914. All right, we're going to take a quick time out here, and we return. We will be visiting with Mac Whitehead, head football coach of the Clever Blue Jays, after these messages.
Things are a little tight for Terrence right now. But they won't be for long, because Central Bank makes it easier for customers like Terrence to dream bigger.
More room would be nice.
With mortgage solutions that can open the door to more space.
That's what I'm talking about.
For his growing family.
Growing family?
Honey, guess what?
You got this, buddy.
Unplug and unlock. Road trips on easy mode. And a really big touchscreen for the biggest jams. And qualify for up to $7,500 in tax credit with the Equinox EV. Unlock the tech and the value. With the 2025 Equinox EV, America's most affordable over 315-mile range EV. And Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Whether your day starts early or goes late into the night, brings the discovery of something new, or just the work of getting it done, it's all easier with a little help. At Great Southern Bank, we understand the importance of having a trusted, reliable support team who can offer you helpful resources and smart options to make the most of what you have and build on it, with possibilities that inspire you to keep going. Find your support team at GreatSouthernBank.com. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
Hey, welcome back here to Friday Night Live on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. We go now back to the phone lines, and we welcome in the head coach of the Clever Blue Jays, Mac Whitehead. Coach Whitehead, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Coach, off to a tremendous start this season, but a big win tonight. Tell us a little bit about the ball game.
Homecoming week's always a fun week. So if you get out of that week with a W, it's always a bonus. So kids came out, played well. Buffalo's a really good team. And Coach, Eddie does a good job. Coach Phillips does a good job with Buffalo. And we knew that they were going to be tough. And, they've got number one, the quarterback. He's a really talented player and the big, tall wide receiver. And, we were just trying to get back to some basics this week. And like I said, our kids played hard and responded coming off the big win last week. So I'm pretty happy with the outcome tonight.
Coach, did you come out of tonight's game relatively healthy?
Yes, we did. And we've been really fortunate the last couple of weeks to play some big games and some really, tough games and come out with, zero injuries. In fact, we were getting kids back. We got Skylar brought us back, who plays corner and wide receiver for us tonight. He had a high ankle sprain and has been out for about 3 or 4 weeks. So getting him back on the field tonight added some depth to our corner and wide receiver position.
Coach, who's really playing well for you right now? Who's kind of stepped up this year? I mean, you finished 500 last year, or the Blue Jays did at 5-5. You've already reached that 5-win total now, just 6 games into the season. Maybe you have somebody maybe on your team that maybe surprised you, that maybe over the summer or even at the end of last year, they just made so many improvements, or they got bigger or improved in the weight room. Who are some of those surprises and kids that are playing well for you this year?
Well, I think right off the bat, Trenton Allen, our sophomore wide receiver, we knew last year, he played a little bit as a freshman and made some big catches for us in some situations. And, I knew coming into this week that he was going to be special. Like, he is just, you could look at him last year as a freshman, the way he just carried himself, the way he, worked in the weight room. He's got a great attitude. He's very coachable. He caught a couple of big touchdown passes tonight and had one actually called back too. So he's one of those wide receiver skill kids that we can put him out wide. We can put him in the slot. We can run a reverse with him. He actually threw a touchdown pass tonight on a reverse. He is just, he's something special. And you pair him up with our senior, Lucas Peebles, and, we got one on each side. And, for us, having 2 guys, that are just dynamic playmakers, that's exciting for us, and it makes it easy to call plays.
As you go back to your jamboree, and that seems like forever ago at Sarcoxy, where have you seen some of the most improvement on your team to be 5-1 at this time?
I think our defense, we knew going into the summer and one of the things, Coach Rodriguez has been preaching is just we got to get better at tackling. And I've gotten multiple comments and compliments from coaches that we've played about just how physical our defense is and how good we tackle, and that's where it starts, and if you can't play good defense, if you can't tackle, it doesn't matter how many points you score, you're going to find yourself in a tough situation. So, I give all the credit to Coach Rodriguez and our defense and how hard they're playing. And, I think that right there is the identity of our team right now.
At what point, Coach, you're 2/3 of the way basically through your regular season. At what point do you kind of maybe start pinking over at the district standings to see what you got to do?
That's already started for me. You're always playing that game in your head about matchups, and you're checking scores every week. That's something that we do as coaches. But with our players, we preach every week's 1-0. Like we start a new week, Saturday morning, and our goal is to finish the week 1-0. And that's our, we preach it because, we always say there's nothing behind us. The only thing in front of us is this week's game. And so, and our kids have bought into that. I feel like they've done a really good job of, not paying attention to what's in front of us and focusing on, this week. We talk about this week's the most important game because this is the next one. And so, as a coach, you always are glancing at, district standings and points, and, you check them Saturday morning and just kind of trying to get an idea of where you are and where you might be headed. But, for the kids, it's always just, hey, this week is the most important week.
Yeah, I was visiting with Coach LePage earlier in the show from Blair Oaks, and he was talking about they had homecoming as well, and he said it's got to be one of the worst 3 days as a head football coach. Do you feel that way?
Well, I stole something from Coach Hodge. Tom, being able to be coached by him is I've taken a lot of the lessons that he taught us as players. And he always told us that homecoming is kind of like perfume. It smells good and looks good in the bottle. Just don't drink it. And so I tell the kids that all the time. It's nice. Everything is nice, but the reason why we're doing all this stuff, the reason for the parade and the pep rally and the Queens and all this, I said, is because there's a football game. I said, we have to keep that in mind. I said, it's, just reminded them like what Tom told us, it's just like perfume. It smells good and looks good. Just don't drink it.
Yeah. Coach, you've got another tough assignment next week as you go to Hollister. At this point, what do you know about them, and what are you going to have to do to come out on top?
I think, Hollister is a very tough team, and they're tough to play at home. I know on defense we're going to have to be assignment oriented. They run a lot of option stuff, so we're going to have to be, very disciplined at defense and know our assignments. On offense, we've got to figure out a way to run the ball against them. They're a really good defensive team, and that's something I really am super proud of. I feel, I mentioned Trenton Allen and Lucas Peebles, our two wide receivers that are pretty dynamic, but I've got 3 running backs that we try to rotate in and being able to run the ball. And we were able to run the ball tonight, and that kind of helps us be able to do some things throwing. So, being able to run the ball against them and then just playing assignment defense is key for next week.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, always great to hear from you, and look forward to seeing you at the quarterback club at Bambino's. And enjoy this one tonight. Best of luck next week, and hopefully we'll get to catch up again this year.
All right. Thank you very much for having us.
You bet. Thanks, Coach Whitehead. Coach Mac Whitehead there from Clever. They finished 5-5 last year, and they're a relatively new program in high school football, varsity football especially. But they're 5-1 on the season. As you look at that district, that right now at this point, not all of the scores have been put in. Just the only one that's been entered in. There's 2, Pleasant Hope and St. James, but this is a race that's going to come down probably between Clever and Mountain Grove. Mountain Grove right now, points-wise, is in first. They're 4-1 coming into tonight. Of course, they got a win, so they're 5-1. Clever's 5-1, and then St. James is 3-3, and then Stratford 1-4, 1-5 now. Salem 1-4, Buffalo 1-5 now, and Pleasant Hope 0-6. So it's going to be between Clever and Mountain Grove, and we'll try and get run down some more of those districts here. But in the meantime, we'll go back to the score desk. Just got a couple minutes till we're expecting to hear from Rockbridge head football coach Matt Perkins here at 10:30. But we'll go back to the score desk and Kent Mueller.
All right. As we said before, Christian Brothers went way out of state to Rabun Gap, Nukuchi in Georgia. They came away victorious 59-49. Liberty North defeated Staley 31-20. Lee Summit 35, Park Hill South 7. It was Republic over Webb City 27-21. Liberty over Washington 42-20. St. James Academy and Kansas traveled to St. Pius in Kansas City and won 27-21. Smith Cotton 15, Battle 0. Eureka 28, Rockwood Summit 7. Rockers fell to Blue Springs at home 29-38. It was Blue Springs 38, Rockers 29. Parkway West 31, Lindbergh 21. Northwest Cedar Hill 48, Fox 20.
All right, we're going to go back to the phone lines. We welcome in Rockbridge head coach Matt Perkins. Coach Perkins, thanks for joining us.
Happy to be here.
Coach, I tell you what, you get a big win tonight over Camdenton. Tell us about the ball game.
Yeah, man. You only asked me to call after a win. I figured this out. So, I'm happy to talk about it. We had great quarterback play tonight. I thought Sean Neville's played outstanding. He had 3 or 4 touchdowns on the night. Tyler Stockard had a couple of touchdowns receiving the ball. Garrett Essner, big tight end commit at Memphis, had a big touchdown receiving the ball. Defensively, we turned them over 5 times. You had Quentin Lee with an interception, Parker Bedford, Isaac Beery. You had Luke Adrian. I think we forced a fumble as well. So it was a good night all around. Bookie Kritza had a big play where he came in and spun off about 4 different tacklers and took one about 65 yards on a pass outside, a little quick screen, and housed it. So a lot of guys getting into the act, and good for morale.
Coach, what do you feel like you're 2/3 of the way into the season? What do you feel like you're doing really well right now, or maybe improved on the most this year as a team, and maybe some areas you need to shore up?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think our defense as a whole is playing really well. We're not quite as aggressive on that side as we've been in the past in terms of scheme with blitzing and things like that. But I think the kids are playing really fast and playing really sound football and eliminating any big plays from the other team. And so that's really exciting. And then, I'm going to say this. I think our special teams has gotten better throughout the year, which is really a good sign. We attempted a 61-yard field goal. It was about 6 inches shy of making it right before the half. Rocco DePrima, he hit a 60-yarder before the game, and so I thought, man, this might be a good time to get him close to the record. And I think it's a 64-yard kick in Missouri high school history. So he's really close to that, just a junior. We're doing some good things on special teams, and then, we've got a lot of balance offensively. We're running the ball with about 5 different guys, and we're able to take the top off. We've got a really strong arm with a kid at quarterback that's throwing the ball down the field, so it's a lot of fun. But our best thing right now is our offensive line. They're playing really well. Understanding, we're able to do a lot of different things with protection with those guys. Coach Palmer has got those guys really playing as a unit, and there's a lot of athletes and a lot of size. They're fun to watch.
You guys come out of tonight's contest relatively healthy, outside of just football bumps and bruises.
We did, yeah. I think we needed that one, mentally, emotionally, physically, all the things. And so definitely feels good to get back on the winning side of things, to even the record out, and hopefully we can springboard forward and have a good finish.
At what point of the season, now you're 2/3 of the way through, at what point of the season do you kind of start sneaking a peek over there at that district standings and kind of figuring out what you need to do to get a couple more home games?
Man, we kind of have it right in front of us. It's basically we've got to win a game week 8 versus Hickman. They're in our district, and so they're playing really well. They had a big win tonight over Jeff City, 42-7. Coach Conyers has those guys playing really good, and we've got to go in and get a win in that environment on the road, and it's a huge rivalry game. We're about a 3-mile separation between the two schools, right down Providence and Columbia here, and so it'll be a big night for us. If we're able to win that game, we're probably going to spring over them in the standings and hopefully get a home game. And if we don't, we're going to probably have to play them again, and that won't be fun. So, we'll see how it goes. Just trying to take it one day at a time, trying to get better on Monday now, and that's the plan.
And just a little trivia to throw in there. You talked about the longest field goal in Missouri high school history. Do you know who kicked it?
No.
John Daly, the professional golfer. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. You know who he was playing
Elias.
for?
Yeah, at Elias.
Yep. Jeff City Elias.
Yeah. Wow.
All right.
Well, we've got a really good one. Rocco DePrima's a 5-star Coles Camp kicker, and he spent time this summer going to Ohio State and Georgia and Vandy and Tennessee and Mizzou, and he's spent some time in Alabama. He is incredible, and it's quite the weapon, man. Very exciting.
Very good. Well, Coach, as always, I appreciate you being generous with your time, and I apologize I only call you when you win, but
no, it's probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing.
I had a coach tell me one time, he said, hey, don't call us after a loss. We're not like basketball coaches. We got to sit on this all week long.
It's the truth, man. There's some dark days there for about 4 or 5 days. You finally get to about Wednesday, and you're like, okay, it's going to be fine. Kids are working hard. Everything's good. And Yeah, it's tough. So we'll get to wake up a little bit brighter skies tomorrow.
All right, Coacher. Well, hey, thanks for joining us, and hey, have a great evening. God bless.
All right, thanks, guy.
All right, bye-bye. Matt Perkins there from Columbia Rockbridge, and that is a true fact. John Daly did kick the longest field goal in Missouri high school history. He wasn't born in Missouri. He moved here to the Jeff City area just before he started high school, I believe. But yeah, 64 yards from John Daly, the golfer. Maybe now we know where he gets his long drives from. He can kick it a long way. But we'll go back here to the score desk at this time before we take our next break. We're still waiting on a couple of coaches to get back to us to see if they're going to be able to join us. But we'll go back to Kent Mueller at the score desk, and scores being put in by we'll just call her the doctor, putting the scores in tonight, Shelley. And Kent and I are reading. I'm trying to help too, so I'm not just loafing. So anyway,
you're a field goal record expert, guy. So
yeah.
Here I have Hardin Central defeated Slater tonight, 61-6. Lockwood over Liberal, 72-20. Adrian over Versailles, 61-0. Bowling Green over Van Far, 52-28. Thayer, 78. Kabul, 0. Parkview, 13. Hayti, 0. Lawson, 51. West Platte, 27. Russellville, 49. Lynn, 12. North Callaway over Louisiana, 54-0. And it was North Platte defeating Plattsburgh 16-8. East Buchanan over Penny 35-7. Putnam County 41, Polo 14. Sarcoxy defeated Miller at home 28-22. And it was Windsor coming away with the win over Midway 16-12. Blair Oaks defeated Blue Valley Southwest out of Johnson County, Kansas 52-10. Warsaw 48, Eldorado Springs 0, Springfield Catholic 35, Fairgrove 15, Forsyth 41, Reed Spring 14, Montgomery County 38, Mark Twain 0, Mid Buchanan 28, Lathrop 7. It was Mountain Grove over Liberty Mountain View 35-6, and Nevada defeated Lamar 27-7. Monroe City 26, Palmyra 20. Pembroke Hill defeated Hogan Prep at home 25-12. Perryville defeats Jefferson Festus 35-0. Sullivan over Herman 35-7. Cassville defeats Mount Vernon 39-28. Clever over Buffalo 27-12. And DeSoto is victorious over Fredericktown 36-7. Mexico defeats Fulton 63-42. Moberly over Marshall 28-6. Osage over Hallsville 46-15. Pacific defeats Owensville 42-3. Park Hills Central prevailed over Potosi 31-28. Valley Catholic 31. St. Genevieve 13. Orchard Farm over Winfield 53-7. West Plains 35. Bolivar 12. Farmington defeats Union this evening 49-14. Harrisonville over Pleasant Hill 31-6. Hillsboro over Windsor 41-12. Kearney defeats Green Valley 28-14. Rogersville 55. Hillcrest 13. Lutheran North 27. MICDS 21. Festus over North County 46-21. Platte County defeats Smithville this evening 49-7. St. Louis University High over Vianney 44-16. Odessa defeats Warrensburg 42-28. Holt over Warrenton 24-14. Lincoln Prep, the Blue Tigers, defeats Winnetonka 13-7. Rockbridge defeats Camdenton 63-7. Fort Osage blanks Ruskin 49-0. Carthage defeats Joplin 28-21. It was Ladue 51, Parkway Central 0. Lebanon defeats Ozark 56-28. Mater Dei out of Illinois defeats Miller Career 48-6. North Kansas City over Grandview 21-7. Northwest Cedar Hill defeats Fox 48-20. Parkway West 31, Lindbergh 21. Blue Springs defeats Rockhurst on the road 38-29. Eureka 28, Rockwood Summit 7. Smith Cotton defeats Battle 15-0. It was St. James Academy out of Johnson County, Kansas, playing at St. Pius of Kansas City and winning 27-21. It was Liberty 42 over Washington with 20. Republic 27, Webb City 21, Neosho over Willard 55-27. Nixa over Kickapoo 56-7. Lee Summit holds court at home against Parkway South, winning 35-7. It was Liberty North winning over Staley at home 31-20. Christian Brothers over Raven Gap Nacoochee out of Georgia 59-49. Pattonville defeats Seckman 26-6. 3 games on tap tomorrow. Lafayette Wildwood is at McClure. St. Dominic is at Riverview Gardens, and University Academy hosts Summit Christian Academy.
Very good. Well, we'll take probably our final break here, and when we come back, we'll be visiting with Mid Buchanan head football coach Aaron Fritz after these messages from the Missouri Sports Network.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. The heartbeat's strong, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving, doing what they do best. Helping neighbors, pitching in, getting it done. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. And every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Seems Bill's up the creek without a paddle.
That's not funny.
And while he really wants a new boat, at Central Bank, we're helping Bill plan for what's most important. Like retiring early and fishing whenever he wants. Hey, Bill, try it again.
Fine. Hope a new boat's part of this plan.
Dream bigger, Bill. We're thinking about a cabin, too.
Now that's a plan.
The Walnut Street Inn is located in the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammons Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports or activities.
Hey, welcome back to Friday Night Live here on the Missouri Sports Network, where everyone has a home field advantage. Guy Newcomb alongside Kent Mueller here. Kent back at the score desk, and we are still updating scores throughout this evening. We have not gotten all of them yet, which we never do. I mean, you can't get all of them because you got to go search for them, and it's just too much to do in a 90-minute show. I do have a final here from, and I believe Kent read this, but Lutheran North over MICDS 27-21, and I'm pretty sure he did read that. But we have posted just now to our Twitter account the updated scores. Here you can click on our document page, and then we'll get those all up at scoreboardguy.net. We are Pleased to be joined now by Mid Buchanan head coach Aaron Fritz. Coach Fritz, congratulations on the win.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Coach, you guys are off to a tremendous start once again. Tell us about tonight's ball game and what Mid Buchanan did really well.
Man, it was just they just presented a lot of different challenges. They got a 400-pounder that plays left guard and a 300-pounder that plays right guard, and then they put this center out there that's 265, and they tried to play bully ball with us, and we were able to score in like the first 3 or 4 plays of the game, and we got to stop, and we started driving down the field, and we shot ourselves in the foot with penalties and didn't score again and had to get another stop, and they drove the ball forever, and they had the ball most of the second quarter. They hung on to it, milked the clock. I mean, it was really good coaching by them and smart. But we were able to put on 2 more touchdowns and scored on the last play of the first half to go in the locker room 21-7. Come out in the second half, get a touchdown right away, go up and do a lot of good things. And they kept trying to hold on to the ball. And then the fourth quarter, I had the touchdown with the first group, and then we had some backup guys in, and they were able to punch one in too. So it was a good night for us. A lot of kids got to play. You never apologize for winning because winning's hard, and our kids found another way to win tonight.
Coach, we've asked coaches this all night. They're 2/3 of the way through the season. Where do you think the biggest improvement has been, for the Bulldogs?
Well, we're the Dragons.
Dragons, I'm sorry. I was looking at South Harris. I was looking at your district. I apologize.
I think we've improved just being older, being more mature. I think our leadership's really good, and we have some guys that know how to step up and make plays when they need to. And I just like where we are mentally. Like, I know our guys, if we make mistakes, they can walk back in and fix it. We don't have to get on to them. We don't have to challenge them in terms of telling them, hey, we're going to do it this way, or you're not going to be out there, something like that. Our guys just kind of can fix it, and we can rotate different guys in when people are struggling. And I like how much depth we've created this year.
Did you come out of tonight's contest relatively healthy?
Yeah, we did. We actually got banged up last week, and our starting left guard and middle linebacker has been out, and we're hoping to get him back soon. So if anything, maybe we can get healthier going into next week. But next week's going to be a battle, and we're playing another really good football team.
You got North Platte next week. I'm not sure what they did tonight, but what do you know about
70-14?
Oh, okay. So
they're really good. They're 5-1. Yeah, they're really good.
What challenges do they present for you?
Honestly, it's very similar to what we saw tonight. They're just not quite as big up front. I think their center's probably 330 and the right tackle's 300. They have a big quarterback, and he probably weighs 230, and the running back probably weighs 215, 220, and they snap it and pretty much point to where they're going and say, stop us. And they're really good at it. They scored 70 tonight. I think they scored 38 on Hamilton last week. They beat East Buchanan and scored 38 or something like that. They are a high-powered offense, so we're going to have to be better on defense. I know we only gave up the 1 touchdown tonight, but we made some mistakes tonight. We're going to have to clean those up and make sure we're in a good spot, because if we're not, we're going to try to have to slow them down, because we do not want to get into a track meet with them.
Coach, at what point during the season do you maybe start peeking at the district standings and where you're at and what you have to do to maintain where you are, or to get as many home games, in that district as you can?
Honestly, and then I don't know if you'll believe me or not, but we've been undefeated a few times since I've been here in the regular season. And only 1 time out of the 3 times we've done it, we've been the 1 seed. So I hate to say it, but I just don't pay attention to that anymore, because I don't understand the point system. I don't understand some of that stuff. And it doesn't matter if you win or lose, because sometimes just who's on whose schedule matters. So honestly, we're just trying to keep winning and figure out what happens, and wherever we land is what it is, because whether you win all your games or you don't, it doesn't really affect where you land sometimes, it feels like.
Very good. Well, Coach, again, I apologize for messing up your school's mascot there, but I was taking a peek at your district, and that's what happened to me. But, Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being part of the show. Good luck again next week, another home game before you go on the road there to Penny, and then finish up with your rival East Buchanan. But congratulations. God bless. Have a great evening.
Hey, thanks, Guy. Good talking to you.
You too, Coach. Thank you. Coach Aaron Fritz there, and I blew that. I was looking at Plattsburgh. I was looking at their district, and right now he is in first place, and his game tonight hasn't even been counted. And South Harrison's has, but South Harrison is about 6 points behind him with 5-1 record. Mid Buchanan is at 6-0 right now, but their 6th win. Tonight's game has not been figured into the stats yet. We'll go back one more time to Kent Mueller at the score desk, run through the scores, and then we'll get out of your hair. Take it away.
All right. Last night, there were 2 games in Missouri. Fort Zumwalt North defeated Fort Zumwalt East 49-6. Ava defeated Houston 43-20. Jasper defeated Greenfield 60-36. It was Hardin Central 61, Slater 6. Lockwood defeated Liberal 72-20. Northland Christian 38, Rich Hill 16. Adrian 61-0 over Versailles. Ash Grove defeated Skyline 41-14. Bowling Green 52, Van Far 28. Colcamp defeats Butler 38-36. Thayer over Kabul 78-0. It was Parkview 13, Hayti 0. Lawson over West Platte 51-27. Russellville 49, Lynn 12. North Callaway 54, Louisiana 0. North Platte defeats Plattsburgh 16-8, and it was East Buchanan over Penny 35-7. Putnam County 41, Polo 14. Sarcoxy defeats Miller at home 28-20. Stockton defeats Sherwood 33-28. Windsor in a close one over Midway 16-12. Blair Oaks defeats Blue Valley Southwest out of Johnson County, Kansas 52-10. It was Savannah 47, Cameron 6. Warsaw defeats El Dorado Springs 48-0, and it was Springfield Catholic going on the road to defeat Fair Grove 36-15. Forsyth 41, Reeds Spring 14. Lighthouse Christian defeats Diamond 21-13. Montgomery County over Mark Twain 38-0. Mid Buchanan 28, Lathrop 7. Mountain Grove 35, Liberty Mountain View 6. It was Nevada over Lamar 27-7. Monroe City defeats Palmyra in a close one 26-20. Pembroke Hill won at home against Hogan Prep 25-12. Perryville 35, Jefferson Festus 0. Salem holds court at home over Willow Springs 20-12. Sullivan defeats Herman 35-7. McDonald County over Aurora 21-14. Cassville defeats Mount Vernon 39-28 this evening. Chillicothe over Lafayette St. Joseph 35-0. Clever over Buffalo 27-12. DeSoto defeats Fredericktown 36-7. It was Mexico 63, Fulton 42. Moberly defeats Marshall 28-6. Osage over Hallsville 46-15. Pacific 42, Owensville 3. Clinton defeats Pleasant Hope 61-0. Park Hills Central 31, Potosi 28. KC Central 20, Southeast 6. Valley Catholic 31, St. Genevieve 13. It was St. Michael over Van Horn on the road 21-14. Orchard Farm defeats Winfield 53-7. West Plains defeated Bolivar 35-12. Farmington 49, Union 14. Harrisonville holds court against Pleasant Hill 31-6. Hillsboro over Windsor at home 41-12. Kearney defeats Green Valley 28-14. Rogersville 55, Hillcrest 13. Lutheran North defeats MICDS at home 27-21. Festus over North County 46-21. Platte County wins over Smithville this evening 49-7. Poplar Bluff 21, Sykeston 14. St. Louis University High 44, Vianney 16. Odessa 42, Warrensburg 28. It was Holt over Warrenton 24-14. And Lincoln College Prep, the Blue Tigers defeat Winnetonka 13-7. Rockbridge defeated Camdenton 23-7. Fort Osage over Ruskin 49-0. Carthage over Joplin 28-21. Ladue wins at home over Parkway Central 51-0. Lebanon doubles up Ozark 56-28. Mater Dei out of Illinois defeats Miller Academy 48-8. North Kansas City over Grandview 61-7. Northwest Cedar Hill 48, Fox 20. Parkway West 31, Lindbergh 21. Raytown 60, Truman 12, and Blue Springs over Rockhurst 38-29. Eureka over Rockwood Summit 28-7. Smith Cotton 15, Battle 0. St. James Academy out of Johnson County, Kansas 27. St. Pius, Kansas City 21. Liberty over Washington 42-20. It was Republic over Webb City 27-21. Neosho over Willard 55-27. Nixa defeats Kickapoo this evening 56-7, and Lee Summit defeats Park Hill South 35-7. Liberty North is victorious over Staley 31-20. And it was Christian Brothers 59, Rabun Gap Nukuchi out of Georgia 49, and it was Pattonville 26, Seckman 6. And there'll be 3 games tomorrow. Lafayette Wildwood travels to McClure, St. Dominic travels to Riverview Gardens, and University Academy plays host to Summit Christian Academy.
Well, I apologize. I had my mic muted. I went through that whole thing thanking everybody, and nobody could hear me. We do appreciate you tuning in. And, hey, as always, hey, drop us a note. Sign up and follow us at Scoreboard Guy, at Missouri_sports, and at Playing_sports. And check us out at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, the best Missouri high school and college information that you can have. You want to be the smartest fan in the stands? Sign up and follow us right here at the Missouri Sports Network. Want to invite everybody to join us at Bambino's Italian Cafe Monday. Doors open at 11. It is our Springfield Area Quarterback Club. Great food, great fellowship. Coaches from the high school and college levels speak. They don't begin speaking until about noon. Food is ready about 11:30, but you can get there whenever you want. Just make sure you're there before 12. And if you tell them you heard it right here on Friday Night Live, just walk in and tell the guy taking the cash that, hey, you heard this on Friday Night Live, and if you're the first one to do it, I will take care of your lunch. Greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. And once again, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Good night.